Welcome back to DocTrack Administrator Training. For this lesson, we're going to complete our look at DocTrack Form Output Profiles. When we ended our last lesson, we had just completed the subject and body fields in the email section of the form. Next is a checkbox labeled Hold Email in Drafts folder. We'll cover this in a later lesson, so I'll leave this blank for right now. Let's move on to the Fax section. If you have VisiFax software installed, then you can choose to distribute this report by fax. If you'd like to use a particular cover sheet template, just enter the path and file name for it here. Next is the Archive Definition section. If the Attach Document box is checked, this report will be attached to the source record and Sightline. In the Online Help, you'll find a chart that shows which Sightline record will receive the attachment for each form output profile type. As indicated here, our order verification report will be attached to the customer order. For the archive location, we'll select File System just as we did for our document saving rule. As I said, we'll be looking at the other options later on in the course. Next is the description field. Order verification appears here by default, but you can change it to whatever you like. This will be the description for the attachment in DocTrack Flex. Then we get to the file name. Here we enter the rule that tells DocTrack how to save and name the new PDF file. We're going to create this rule the same way that we created our document saving rule earlier. So let's take another look at my archive map. Here's the section that illustrates the path and file name for my order verification report. This tells me that my rule should look like this. We could type out all the text as well as copy and paste all the field and function tags just like before. But here's a tip. Notice that my order verification report is going to be in the same folder as the customer purchase order. As a matter of fact, the file name is pretty similar too. So to minimize my typing errors, I'm going to open the DocTrack document saving rules and copy that entire path and file name. Then I'll go back, paste it here, remove everything in the file name before the CONUM tag, and add the prefix ordver. That's our complete file name for this rule. Finally, let's look at the Overlay Tags section. Here we can define a standard header and footer for this document. These could include manual text, as well as tags from the Fields or Functions dropdown. And if you populate either of these fields, DocTrack will add the page number reference to the footer as well. For the header, I'll enter Progressive Cycles Order Verification. Then I'll copy the CONUM tag and insert it after order. Now we'll save our profile and we're done. Okay, we've done our part. We've established all the global settings we can for this output profile. At this point, when a user generates an order verification, it will appear in DocTrack Flex as an attachment to the customer order. It'll be bundled with terms and conditions and attachments. It will display our header and a page reference in the footer. and it'll be saved to our archive with a smart path and file name. But when it comes to emailing it to the customer automatically, we've only completed half the equation. The other half is accomplished by creating and maintaining document profiles. Where the DocTrack form output profile establishes from information for emails, the document profiles handle the to information. Someone will need to maintain customer document profiles in Sightline for form output profiles based on any report going to a customer. To see what the form looks like, we can select this button to open the Customer Document Profiles form in Sightline. In this course, we assume that the DocTrack administrator will maintain DocTrack form output profiles, but not the document profiles. Instead, we assume that users are going to maintain those. For example, it's likely that someone from purchasing or accounts payable would maintain the vendor document profiles, while someone in sales or accounts receivable might maintain the customer document profile. That's why the lessons on customer, vendor, and DocTrack document profiles can be found in the Users course. Make sure you check those lessons out to see examples of automatic emails being generated. That's the DocTrack form output profile form. And that's all for now. On our next lesson, we'll begin our look at DocTrack virtual rules. See you then.